Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallava Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Vishwabhat Paramahamsa Hare His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta, Swami Śrīmad Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīmad Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Jai Vishwabhat Paramahamsa Hare His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Goswami Śrīmad Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Nithai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. It's a long verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is a reading from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, Text 5 to 7. Pita Mahame Samare Maranjayur Deva Vrata Tad Jatiratais Timingilai Duratayayam Kaurava Sanyasagaram Kritadaram Vatsa Padan Sma Yat Plavaha Dronyastra Viplustam Idam Madangam Santana Bijam Kuru Pandavanam Jugopa Kukshim Gato Atta Chakre Matushameya Sharanam Gatayo Viryani Tushya Kiladeha Bhajam Antarbahi Purusha Kala Rupai Prayachato Mrityum Uttamritam Cha Maya Manushyasya Vadasya Vidvan. Pitahamaha me samaro maranjayor. Deva Vratadya Tiratascha Timingalai. Duratyayam Kauravasanya Sagaram. Kitva Vatsa Padam Smayat Pallavaha. Dranyastra Viplustam Idam Madangam. Shantana Bijam Kuru Pandavanam. Jugopa Kukshim Gata Atta Chakre. Matuschameya Sharanam Gatayo. Viryani Tasya Kilakdeha Vajam. Antarbahi Purushakala Rupai. Prayechato Mritum Utamritam Cha. Maya Manusyasya Vadasya Vidvan. Tata Chakre. Okay, it's very long. Pitamaha, my grandfathers, the five Pandavas, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula and Sahadev. May my Shamare on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Amaram Jayo, with fighters who could gain victory over the demigods on the battlefield. Devamrita Adya, Vishmadev and others. Adhiratai, great commanders-in-chief. Timingalai, resembling great Timingala fish, which can easily eat large sharks. Duratayam, very difficult to cross. Kaurava Vanya Sagaram, the ocean of the assembled soldiers of the Kauravas. Kritva, considering such an ocean. Ataram, crossed it. Vatsapadam, exactly as one steps over small footprints of a calf. Sma in the past. Yat plava, the shelter of the boat of Krishna's lotus feet. Droni of Ashratama. Astra, by the Brahmastra. Vipulastam, being attacked and burnt. Idam, this. Matangam, my body. Santana bijam, the only seed left. The last descendants of the family. Kuru Pandavanam, of the Kurus and the Pandavas. Because no one but me lived after the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Jugopa gave protection. Kukshim, within the womb. Gataha, being pleased. Atachakraha, taking in hand the disc. Matu, of my mother. Cha, also. Me, my. Ya, the Lord who. The Lord who. Sharanam, the shelter. Gataya, who had taken. Vijani, the glorification of the transcendental characteristics. Tasya, of him, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Akila Dehavajam, of all the materially embodied living entities. Antabahi, inside and outside. Purusha, of the Supreme Person. Kalarupai, in the form of eternal time. Prachataha, who is the giver. Mritum, of death. Atta, it is so said. Amritam, cha, and eternal life. Maya Manushya, of the Lord who appeared as an ordinary human being. By his own potency. Vadatsa, kindly describe. Vidvan, O learned speaker. Shukadev Goswami. Translation and purport of His Divine Grace, La Prabhupada Ki Jai. Taking the boat of Krishna's lotus feet. My grandfather, Arjuna, and others crossed the ocean of the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in which such commanders as Bhishmadev resemble great fish and could very easily have swallowed them. By the mercy of Lord Krishna, my grandfathers crossed this ocean, which was very difficult to cross, as easily as one steps over the footprints of a calf. Because my mother surrendered unto Lord Krishna's lotus feet, the Lord Sudarshan Chakra in hand, entered her womb and saved my body. The body of the last remaining descendants of the Kurus and the Pandavas, which was almost destroyed by the fiery weapon of Ashwatthama. Lord Sri Krishna, appearing within and outside of all the material embodied living beings by his own potency in the form of eternal time. That is, as Paramatma and as Virat Rupa gave liberation to everyone, either as cruel death or as life. Kindly enlighten me by describing his transcendental characteristics. Purport. As stated in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10:14-58, Samasritye padapallavaplavam mahat padam punya yasho murare Bhavam buddhir vatsa padam param padam 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 jad vipadam natesham. For one who has accepted the birth of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, or the enemy of the Mura demon, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's footprint. His goal is Parampadam, or Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. One who seeks shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna is immediately protected by the Lord. As the Lord promises in Bhagavad Gita 18:66, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami ma sujaha. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. By taking shelter of Lord Krishna, one comes under the safest protection. Thus, the Pandavas took shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. All of them were on the safe side of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Parikshit Maharaj, therefore, felt obliged to think of Krishna in the last days of his life. This is the ideal result of Krishna consciousness. Ante Narayana Smitihi. If at the time of death one can remember Krishna, one's life is successful. Parikshit Maharaj, therefore, because of his many obligations to Krishna, intelligently decided to think of Krishna constantly during the last days of his life. Krishna had saved the Pandavas, Maharaj Parikshit's grandfather, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Krishna had saved Maharaj Parikshit himself when he was attacked by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. Krishna acted as the friend and worshipped the deity, worshipful deity of the Pandava family. Moreover, apart from Lord Krishna's personal contact with the Pandavas, Krishna is the supersoul of all living entities, and he gives everyone liberation, even if one is not a pure devotee. Kamsa, for example, was not at all a devotee, yet Krishna, after killing him, gave him salvation. Krishna consciousness is beneficial to everyone, whether one is a pure devotee or a non-devotee. This is the glory of Krishna consciousness. Considering this, who will not take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna? Krishna is described in this verse as the Maya Manushya, because he descended exactly like a human being. He is not obliged to come here like karmis or ordinary living beings. Rather, he appears by his own internal potency, energy, sambhavya atma maya, just to show favor to the fallen conditioned souls. Krishna is always situated in his original position as Sachidananda Vigraha. And anyone who renders service to him is also situated in his original spiritual identity. Sarupena Vyavastitihi. This is the highest perfection of human life. Hare Krishna. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Putrayane Nivishesha Nivadi Vashada Desharine Vanchakalpatra Vaishya Kivasi Nireva Chavatitanam Bhavaneva Vaishnavebhyo Namo. This is a very important verse, in fact, because this is the goal of all living entities. This is the goal of devotees, is to take shelter of Krishna and his lotus feet. We'll talk about taking shelter of lotus feet. This is where it's described here, is to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. And how to do that? It's exemplified by the Pandavas. And we're actually exactly in the same position as the Pandavas, because the Pandavas, they were always attacked by the Kauravas, Duryodhana. And he was attacked all the time, made so many plans to kill them, actually. I was reading the Mahabharata now about these stories. I just bought a Mahabharata and I'm reading it now, how Pandavas, they escape so many dangerous circumstances by put forward by the Duryodhana. And they were guided by Vasudev. And what's his name? Vidura. Because Vidura was a spy for the Pandavas, transcendental spy. He was one of the brothers. Like he was in the same family as the Kauravas in the Duryodhana's palace, but he was on the side of Krishna. He's a great devotee of Krishna. And he knew what was going on. And they were making plot to kill the Pandavas, Duryodhana. And he sent them away in the forest. And before that, they had them in the house that Purushana made. And Vidura told them, be careful. This is the day they're going to set fire to the house. And and the Pandavas, they're very strong, in fact, especially Bhima. Bhima had the strength of the 10,000 elephant. We can imagine how strong one elephant is, 10,000. So it says that Bhima, he carried his other 4 brothers on his arm and Kunti on his shoulder. And he was running like a Vayu, because he's son of Vayu, through the forest, smashing, so strong. And they were put into great difficulty by Duryodhana. But they always remember Krishna, they always took shelter of Krishna. That's the same position as all the devotees, that we have to always take shelter of Krishna, because we are put into difficulty all the time. In the material world, we're in a safe haven. We're in a material world where it's inflicted by danger at every step. Padam padam jat bipadam natesham. That's just like this verse says in the purport. Padam padam. Padam means every step. Every step there is danger. We all know that. You can walk down the street, you can hit by a car, or you can hit your own toes on a rock. It happened to me all the time. Even I'm eating and I bite my lips or tongue or something. It's very hurtful. So there's so much danger here. This is not a place for enjoyment. But if we take shelter of Krishna, there's no danger. Just like a child. He walks free in the street, full of cars, danger, people everywhere. Someone can kidnap. But the child feels very protected because he or she is holding the hand of the parents. In fact, the child will walk with pride, because they're now protected by the parents. Similarly, the devotees of Krishna, they're protected by Krishna. Even though they're in the midst of danger, they are not feeling danger because they feel the presence of Krishna. In fact, the Pandavas, they were put into so much difficulty that only thing in the mind of the Kaurava king, Duryodhana, is to kill them. That's all. They want to get rid of them. Send them away to the forest. And even while they were in the forest, they made a plan to kill them while they were there in the forest. But they were protected by Krishna. They had the guarantee by Vasudev that they will be protected. Don't worry. Vasudev told them. So sometimes they're doubting because the danger is so imminent that they're thinking, how can Vasudev said, but we are simply going to suffer and even die. But they talked among themselves, said, don't worry, Vasudev guaranteed that you're going to be fine at the end. So there's going to be challenges. Life of a devotee is full of challenges. Like we are facing challenges. In our temple we face challenges. If not from outside people, from inside people. There's always challenges. Krishna created that so we can become fixed up in His service. If everything is going well, we may not take shelter of Krishna. So these difficulties come because for a devotee, they never turn away from Him despite such difficulties. That's called loyalty. We can talk about loyalty, but actually loyalty, it really comes when we are faced with difficulty. That will prove. And we, as devotees, we are faced with difficulty all the time. Isn't it? Somehow or another. You can look into your own self. There was never a time you could just have a good time. There's always something behind it, some difficulty. You see the life of Srila Prabhupada. It was not easy. Srila Prabhupada had his businesses, all went flop. But Prabhupada said, Krishna was calling him to preach Krishna consciousness in the Western country. So Krishna made all this, everything fall apart, so he can now go and preach. But he could see the hand of Krishna. So we go, okay, all right, what's happening? Krishna's cruel. It says here, God is not cruel. We have to see the hand of Krishna behind everything. There's a reason for everything. And especially in the life of a devotee, whatever happens, we know because there is a reason for a better work for us. Krishna has other plan for us. So Krishna took everything away from him, but he gave him the whole world. ISKCON. Whole world that we're living in. Prabhupada said, I have given you this whole world. It's for you to live in peacefully. You see, it's a Melbourne temple or all over ISKCON. We have such a nice Hare Krishna movement. We can have such a good time. Just now we had kirtan, 7:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock we're having kirtan. Dancing, who does that? Wake up so early and doing kirtan, singing and dancing. Such a happy life. But the problem is our mind. There's no problem, we create problem for ourselves. If everything goes well, then we bring in the trouble. If someone is happy, we think, why are you so happy? We give him trouble. There's no problem in this world. Krishna gave everything perfect in every way. Om Purnamadaha Purnam Idam Punasya Purnamadaya. His creation is perfect and complete. But we want to separate from Krishna. Then Maya comes, his material energy. If I go here, I'll be okay. If I go there, I'll be okay. That's your mind telling you these things. You have to be Krishna conscious wherever you are. If I go to India, I'll be happy. If I go to Nigovardhan, I'll be happy. If I go to there, I'll be happy. Wherever you go, we're going to be attacked by material energy. So therefore, we have to be Krishna conscious wherever we are. That is the test. And Pandavas, they never gave up. They always took shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. Because Krishna is the worthy of the shelter. Only He can give us that shelter. It's a government, they say, vote me, I will protect you. They can say that. It's happening all the time. We vote them, later on, they can't give us good life. Failure at every step. But Krishna is never failure. Anyanyas chintayanto mam jajana paripasate tesam nitabhijuktanam yogakshema bahamyam. Krishna says, I carry what you lack and I preserve what you have. Who can say that? There's never a loss in serving Him. Salpa mapesa dharmasya trayate mahoto bhayat. Bhayat means great fear. This material world we're living in is a fearful place. It's a dangerous place. Uncertainty at every step. But yet people don't think like this. They think, no, there's something better. Let me try it. Try to enjoy. We don't give up. We don't take lessons from the suffering that the material energy is giving us. Just like if you jump in the ocean, big sharks in there. It says here, sharks, fish. Every day you read in the newspaper, every year there's somebody getting eaten by a shark in Australia. We eat so many fish. I mean, not we. People eat fish, and then a shark get a chance to eat one person, and it's a big headline. Isn't it? You think about it. They're killing millions and millions of fish every day. Business is a business, fishery. They're sending to other countries. So, ocean, this big ocean and there's big sharks in there. They can chop, take your leg, your head. This is a very dangerous place. You can't trust people. You read every day. There's in the news in Australia, in the news every day, someone's getting stabbed while you walk in the street. It's not a safe haven. While you're sleeping, people break in your house. Every day this is in the news now. Here in Australia. India is more safe. You have a nice house, everything, someone is trying to break in. Jump over the wall, they steal your car. Oh, so much crime. Unbelievable amount of crime going on. They catch them, and then they release them quickly. There's no justice. Like this is going on. We're living in Kali Yuga. It's full of bad place, sufferings. And we're thinking, go with me. Everything's good. I'm good, you're good. All fine, man. I'm fine. We're not fine. We need to wake up. Therefore, the spiritual master comes down here to awaken us. That's why Krishna came to perform his Leela at pastimes. So attractive that we are attracted to Krishna and his lotus feet. Sachid Ananda Vigraha, it is mentioned in the purport. Krishna's form is so beautiful that when we look at the form of Krishna, we become attracted because we are meant to be with him. In his presence, in his service, in his association, in the spiritual atmosphere, in the spiritual world. That's where we belong. Material world is not our real home. You can try best to live here. But we all know, Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked, what is the most surprising thing? He said that people are dying all around us. I'm thinking, I'm okay. This is the most surprising thing. We never think, we wake up in the morning, we never think that this could be my last day here. If we actually think in that way, we'll be very serious about practicing Krishna consciousness. I was thinking today, while I was here, I sit down to chant japa. I was sitting there. We have, right after Mangalarati, we sit down to chant japa up till 7 o'clock. And it's so difficult to chant. Your knee hurts after a while, your mind goes somewhere, then so hard to concentrate to chant japa. You're thinking, oh, this is too much, I'm going to go. I told myself right in the beginning, when I sat down there, I told myself, you mind, I'm not listening in today. I want to sit here till 7 o'clock. And I sat there till 7:15. I had to go to the bathroom. And I was fine. But if you listen to your mind, your senses, you're in trouble. Therefore Krishna says, you have to overcome your senses by taking shelter of His lotus feet, by taking shelter of the holy name. That is our only shelter. There is no other shelter. Durasraya. Durasraya means without shelter. Material world is durasraya. As much as we like to think, but the real shelter is the shelter of Krishna. Shelter of the lotus feet of Prabhupada. We say all the time, is a shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master, Guru. And Krishna says, at the time of the Antar Narayana Smiti, at the time of death you have to remember me. But if you do all kinds of stuff throughout the life, how are you going to remember Narayan at the time of death? I can. No. If a car hits you, everybody says so many things except Krishna. Right? They don't think of Krishna. We are faced with imminent difficulty and danger. We're not going to think of Krishna. Therefore, we have to practice to think of Krishna. Now, this is why I have this program, this is why I have this temple. It's not a fashion to have a temple. It's a place where we can practice to become Krishna conscious, practice to control our senses to the demands of the mind, demands of the senses. Our ears always want to hear something. Therefore, you have to fill the ear with the holy name. Eyes look at the beautiful form of Krishna. Associate with the devotees. Krishna consciousness is very favorable to advance spiritual life if we accept favorably. So reject the unfavorable that obstruct us from serving Him. We can be just devotees, but if you want to be serious devotee, if you're Krishna conscious devotee, if you want to advance the spiritual life, if you want to cultivate love for Krishna, then you need to hear this Krishna Katha from the Bhagavatam. Just like if you're studying, you have to be serious to be a good student. If you're just goofing around, you'll never study, then you will fail. It takes longer, double time. Isn't it? When I was doing the Hare course, at the end, every student, they make you do that. I had to do 3 times. I was the dumbest one. They made me do it. It's like completely compulsory. Safety at workplace. In writing. I did it, but 3 times I had to do it. Everybody else left the classroom. I'm still doing it because I'm more good at spiritual things. But when you're studying outside, they make you do these things. Safety at workplace. And so if you sincerely, seriously study everything, you learn quickly. Suppose you are a devotee and you have so many challenges, difficulty, outside people, inside devotee maybe giving you a hard time and think, this is not for me. You go away. You're jumping in the mouth of shark. There's more danger out there than inside. So therefore Prabhupada said, if you're on a ship, if you're on a big ship, the ship will twist and turn and move. You will feel seasick if you're not used to it. Vomiting, very, very terrible thing to be on a ship. You feel seasick. Then I just jump in the water. You got no chance to leave. The shark there waiting. You jump in the mouth of shark. So Prabhupada gives the example, material world is it's an ocean of danger. Maya, big sharks, crocodiles, they're all waiting. Crocodile, no way you can fight. You have to be like Arjuna. Arjuna, when he had to go to the Himalaya to get to Pashupati to meet Lord Shiva, he had to cross the river full of crocodile. And his Arjuna is a demigod, very strong. And he went to meet Pashupati, the Lord Shiva, in a Kailash. And he carried bow and arrow with him. He didn't go empty-handed. And he went through the crocodiles. They couldn't get him. He's so strong. And ice glaciers to get to the Kailash. When he went up there, he couldn't meet Lord Shiva easily. He had to perform austerity. And the story is there in the Mahabharata. So, practicing Krishna consciousness, similarly, we're going to be attacked by crocodiles and sharks. And that's like Maya. Very dangerous material world. Therefore, it's mentioned here, very importantly mentioned in this verse, that we have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. Grab hold the lotus feet of Krishna. We are a child, like people say, we are a child of God. We are a child of God. So, child of God means you hold the lotus feet, or you keep company with your parents. Don't turn away. Just the other day, we were at a devotee's restaurant, and one of the kids, they ran away. He was on the red light going across, and we were all eating, and these kids ran out, cars, and his father had to go and get him. He was running away into the street. We're all running away from Krishna to Maya, and we're getting eaten up. We're eaten up by Maya's energy. We're trying hard again and again to enjoy this material world. Chewing the chewed. It is mentioned that when they make the sugarcane juice, not so much here in India, they make sugarcane juice, they get every drop out of it. And there's that stuff, they throw it on the ground. In India, the cows roaming around, they get that and eat that. Maybe they get a little bit of juice in there. That's material enjoyment. There's no juice in the material enjoyment. We can chant Hare Krishna for hours and hours, but if you sing a mundane song, you can't. Now they have this Lady Gaga doing the song. People crazy to go see her. Unbelievable. Young people. Even talking about her name makes me sick. It's Hare Krishna, it's not Lady Gaga. And something happened, the tickets, they couldn't get to see her. People are so disappointed. And here we have Radha Krishna on the altar, so beautiful, not like Lady Gaga. So beautiful. And we're singing in front of them, it's so blissful. And it's free. You don't have to buy a ticket. And at the end you get prasadam for free. And people don't want to come. The best thing we are giving for free. But they rather go into the danger than, take shelter of Krishna and then chanting Hare Krishna. You can see when you go on the street, we're doing the chanting on Harinam. People look so miserable. When they see us, they feel happy. Oh, Hare Krishna. They dance with us. Just now I was in Gold Coast a couple of weeks ago. They had this thing called schoolies. You heard of that? Hundreds of kids. They come from New South Wales, Victoria, and hundreds. And we're doing kirtan on the street and the area, and they jump in us. They dance with us. They said to us the best thing that they ever had in their life. That the Gold Coast that they went, the best thing that they had there, they got to chant Hare Krishna and so happy. Because that's real happiness. Awakens the soul, the happiness, spiritual happiness. So, Krishna consciousness is a sublime process. It's not, it is mentioned that the chanting of the holy name has come from the spiritual world. Golok Hare Premadhan Harinam Sankirtan. This chanting Harinam, Hare Krishna, chanting, come from Golokadham, from the spiritual world. We are just doing it, Hare Krishna, ha ha ha. But this is coming from the spiritual world, this holy name. So, we want to be a place where it is safe to stay. Just like you make your home a safe place. And you build it at home near the ocean, and then the tsunami comes. It washed away. Landslide. You go somewhere in the forest and the bushfire. House is burned down. There's no safe place in the material world. But we can be more safe when we're with Krishna. Because Krishna, He says, I guarantee you, because He's Bhagavan. That's what it says here in this purport. Sarvadharman pratyaja mamekam saranam braja aham tam sarva papebhyo. He says, I protect him from all the fear, all sin. We are all sinful. That's why He took material birth in the material world. We are sinful. Why are we doing here? If you go to the prison, what are you doing in the prison? The material world is a prison. We are living in prison. Birth, death, old age, disease. Isn't that a wonderful place? Even if you're a millionaire, you still have to get sick and get old and die. Everybody have to go through that. This material world means a place of mrityum. This verse says mrityum. Mrityum means death. Krishna comes as death. Mrityum. Krishna is death personification. Prabhupada said when death comes, he sees Krishna. But not everybody sees Krishna as death. Therefore, this story is now we're entering in the 10th canto of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. This little bit part of Mahabharata. Krishna, he speaks a little bit in the beginning, and Krishna's pastimes. So we're in the 10th canto. It's a really good part of Krishna's pastimes. So that's why we read from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam from the 1st canto. When he leading up to the 10th canto, we'll have a more understanding of Krishna's positions, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, the source of everything. Krishna is the gopis, Rasa Leela. Then we'll know that what he is the supreme source of everything. He is the enjoyer. Bhaktaram Jagatapasam. Bhakta, he is the enjoyer. So when you get to the 10th canto, you will know that what Krishna is, what is his position is. We are not in doubt. True philosophy from the 1st canto. That's why you have to read from the 1st canto leading up to 10th canto gradually. That's why Prabhupada said we have to start from the 1st canto and gradually every temple we have Bhagavatam class. We read each part of the Bhagavatam from beginning to all the way to the end of the cantos. So that there's many points in this purport. The main point is that the devotees, they never give up the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. They grab hold the shelter of the feet of Krishna. Because Krishna's lotus feet is the shelter of all living entities. We don't have anything other than that. And Krishna is present in His holy name. So when you chant Hare Krishna, you're literally associating with Krishna. Krishna is in the name. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Okay, we cannot hold the lotus feet of Krishna. But Krishna is there in His name. That's why if you want to take shelter of Krishna, you have to take shelter of the holy name. So that's why these are very nice chapters, and the 10th canto. We can read nicely. I think Maharaj is giving class tomorrow, that from Harinamaruchi Maharaj, next few days. He already gave yesterday. Listen from him. Sannyasis, they give up sense enjoyment, they take sannyas, they're traveling and preaching, and they have a lot of realization about Krishna consciousness. They can inspire us in spiritual life. Listen from these devotees, their experiences of Krishna consciousness, and the realizations, and their, they have more understanding of the philosophy, they have more time to study. That's their business, the sannyasis, traveling preachers. So when they give class, come and listen from them and get inspired in spiritual life. That's the only thing that is, whatever we may be doing in our life, family, business, work, whatever, bottom line of all these things, as a devotee, we should know that our real business is to go back to Godhead, is to serve Krishna, is to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, beautiful lotus feet of Krishna. We are attracted to things, that's natural, but we have to be attracted to Krishna. So we don't know what Krishna is like, we haven't seen him, but we can understand his glorification from the books, scriptures. If someone we are attracted to, how do they get their beauty? The person who created us must be more beautiful. You have to see through philosophy and logic. We are attracted to beauty, attracted to nature. We are attracted to the things that the material world can offer. But Krishna says all these things, aham sarvasya, come from me. So the person who created is much more beautiful. He's strong. He's Bhagavan, the source of everything. We have to always see things through Shastra. Then we will not be just on the surface. We'll have understanding of everything through knowledge. Scriptural knowledge. That's why Prabhupada said, study my books, come to the class. Now this month, there's a lot of emphasis on distributing Prabhupada's books. It's all happening in the street. Book distribution, Harinam. It's okay to have a big temple and we can just sit around here and talk amongst ourselves but real preaching is actually in the street. Because we are here because we heard about Krishna, so someone gave us a book in the street. We saw the devotees on the street. That's why we are here. So the temple is on the street. Srila Prabhupada started this movement from the park. So Hare Krishna movement, it comes from devotees going out in book distribution. Prabhupada said, what your few words going to do? But when you read his books, the knowledge goes far and wide. It reaches so many people. You have to go to school? You have no school now, right? This is the school here. I teach you about Krishna. Okay, any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you were talking about the mind. So when we try to make sure our thoughts are all centered on Lord Krishna, it's not easy because most of the times when I try to do it, my mind gets distracted and I stop thinking about Krishna. So, and then when I think about Lord Krishna and my thoughts are centered around Krishna, then my mind feels much more clearer and I can understand. But, so how can we always keep our mind on the right track?
That is a problem with everyone. Because our mind, Krishna gives the instruction in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna that the mind is like the wind, it's flickering and so fast. So he says you have to make mind can be your friend or it can be the enemy. So if you listen to your mind and its demands, we are becoming enemy. Because mind doesn't make any distinction, can lead us to very dangerous situations, put us in dangerous situations. So we have to engage the mind. Krishna says to engage the mind by putting Krishna consciousness, by thoughts of Krishna. Ma manusmara jiddhasa. He told Arjuna, think of me and fight. And it says in this purport, Ante Narayana Smriti, at the end of life you have to remember Narayan. So how to do that? We have to remember now. That's why you have this process. That's why you have chanting japa, we have deity worship. This is all to bring us to that platform where we can be Krishna conscious, so we can thoughtful of Krishna. Just like here, you can be in Maya here in the temple room, because there's deity there. You can look at Radha Krishna deity, Radha Ballava. You can look at Prabhupada, Prabhupada's books. There's very little way to become in Maya here, unless I can see you, what you're thinking. But the mind is dwelling in such different objects. Even we're looking at the deity, but the mind can be somewhere else at the same time. That's why you have to, Krishna says, wherever the mind wanders, bring it back under your control. Wanders off, bring it back. Make mind you're not a servant of the mind, but mind is your servant. You engage the mind, not you listen to the mind, demands. This is the story of genie and the bottle. You heard that story? The king's servant went to the bazaar and he got everything that they had, a little bit of everything. And he got one bottle from one shop, and the shopkeeper said, don't open this bottle. If you open it, you're in big danger. But he said, but I have to get everything, whatever they have, even this bottle. So he told the king, don't open this bottle. There's a big danger if you open it. But the king got very curious. So he kept it, and after some time he was impatient. He says, I want to open and see what it is. So he opened the bottle, and there was big demon came out. He grabbed his throat. He said, give me something to do. I'll kill you otherwise. Give me something. He said, oh, go to the kitchen, clean all the pot. We have a pot washer. If they're not professional, it'll take days to clean all those pot. He's got the singing going on. He takes 2 days to clean, one pot. So much pot. So he went to the kitchen, he cleaned all the pot really quick. And he came back and he grabbed his throat. He said, give me something to do. And he said, okay, go to the lawn, cut the grass. And a few minutes later he came back, give me something to do. He was so quick. So he was in danger, the king was in danger. So he called the Hare Krishna devotees. He says, give him a Jabamala. So I chant 16 rounds. I finished 16 rounds. Okay, chant 64 rounds. Day and night chant. So that's the story tells us that you can take shelter of the holy name. It's the only way you can control the mind. That demon is the mind. You have to be expert at engaging the mind in a way that mind finds it shanti, the peace is there. We know how to control the mind. Others don't. They say, let's go out and let's kill the mind. Listen to the mind, do whatever we want. Then he'll drive you nuts. So don't allow the mind to control you. You have to control the mind through Krishna consciousness. That's why I said in the beginning, sit here 1 hour, 2 hours, chant japa. Mind's going to go crazy. Hear the holy name. Repeat the mantra nicely. Hear the sound of the holy name. Chant nicely. So focus on the mantra. The mind doesn't have a chance. It's always want to wander off. Bring it back. Hear the holy name. Before you know it, your mind somewhere. I said, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be chanting japa. So then you have to bring the mind back. So that's a struggle. That's how it works. Krishna consciousness, abhyasa jagajuktena, it's a process of practicing. We are in the process of practicing. We haven't said, I have control over mind. No one has. But we can control it by chanting Hare Krishna. Through the process of chanting. So there's a way to do sadhu sangha. And the association of devotees, we are checked. Alone it's very difficult. You look at things and you chant, your mouth's moving, but your mind's somewhere else. That's why I have the temple program, with the devotees around you, and then we all chanting together. There's less that we are distracted to Maya, because we are in the association of devotees. It was still, mind is still, but it's much less. So that's why you have to be very strong to ourselves. Don't allow it to focus on Maya activities. Yeah. Okay. Another question? Temple Soul. People are listening online? How many people are listening online? You can tell in the phone. Does it say how many people? Huh? 90? 19. Only? Okay, any more questions? All right, thank you. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai.